God bless America indeed. We are inside of Studio 99, a.k.a. The Pod Cave.
Or Jake's basement.
A.k.a.
This is another edition of the Outcasts podcast. We didn't have one last week. Had some things going on. People were too busy. And Pop said no to having you guys over to pod, so that doesn't help. But we are back, and we have a lot to talk about. We have heard some of our listeners out there say that the podcasts are too long. So what we are going to be doing is breaking them up into smaller segments of about 10 to 15 minutes where we're going to be talking about individual topics. And this first podcast is going to be about the World Baseball Classic. And we had the intro be God Bless America, and it was super long. I didn't think it was going to take that long, but that's all right. Listeners can skip ahead. But boys,
God bless America.
the USA finally captured their first World Baseball Classic. Well, they got past the second round for the first time in Team USA history, and then they went on to win against a Puerto Rico team that was lights out pretty much for the entirety of the tournament. They smoked Puerto Rico in the championship game, played at Dodger Stadium. Score was 8-0.
8-0, yeah.
Probably ruined diplomatic relations.
We don't have diplomatic relations. They are a small child.
Are you saying Big Brother syndrome?
No, I'm saying literally we could end them with that. There's no Big Brother syndrome. It's just Puerto Rico
syndrome. Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about sports.
Sports.
And the Puerto Rico team was pretty salty after the loss. They had beaten USA earlier in the tournament. What was it, like 5 to something? 5-4.
Yeah.
Maybe 6-5.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
It was 6-5 or 5-4.
It was a one run game at the end.
Anyway, and they're a very passionate team. I mean, the entirety of Puerto Rico was watching the game. And Adam Jones, Jack, why don't you tell us a little bit what Adam Jones did?
Yeah, so apparently before even the game was played, the championship game, Puerto Rico already had a parade scheduled for back in Team Puerto Rico already had a parade scheduled back in Puerto Rico because for them it was a really big deal and their team made the finals for the first time ever.
That's not true. They lost last year.
In the finals?
Or not
well,
last
4
year,
years
last
ago.
Time, yeah.
Anyway, there was a parade scheduled, and Jones kind of said something like, isn't that a little premature? You guys haven't even won anything yet. And then, of course, the U.S. went on to beat Puerto Rico by a large score of 8-0. And so then Yadier Molina kind of came back and was pretty upset about it, saying, he demanded that Adam Jones apologize for his comments, saying, how much the tournament and the game meant to Puerto Rico and all the people there. Apparently, 3/4 of the country, or a majority of the country was watching the game. So, I don't know, just kind of interesting. Ian Kinsler also made some comments about how other teams play the game. Jack?
Kinsler just came across like an old school baseball. Yeah,
folk?
like the racist folk.
Yeah, that's Ian Kinsler in a nutshell, I think.
Also, broke Carrasco's hand.
Okay, well,
Just to add to his character.
I think the debate and the issue that was had with the comments Adam Jones made and then Kinsler was it just the passion that other countries in the world have about baseball is very different than the passion that America has.
but it's coming back, I think.
I do believe it is coming back, but it still isn't quite the same. I mean, in Puerto Rico, baseball is absolutely huge. The Dominican Republic as well.
Yeah, they had a parade scheduled regardless, win or lose, of that championship game. They were going to celebrate what their team did, and they were so happy.
Yeah.
And,
So,
it means a lot more to them than it does to the Americans.
Yeah, so I, agree as you may with Adam Jones' comments, and maybe it's premature. Maybe it's not a good idea to celebrate or plan a celebration before the results actually happen, but you got to respect the passion that country has for its baseball
team. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago about Latin American countries that they don't have a MLB for whatever country they're in. So this is huge to represent a country that is not, it's seen as a baseball country, but it's not year round. So when something like this happens, you get the spotlight of not only the players but the country.
Not a country.
Well, Puerto Rico, okay, yes, but the majority of the teams are countries.
Let's put it into perspective this way, though. Puerto Rico also has a population that is 1/10 the size of the state of California. Not even all 50 states.
Yeah.
So they are tiny, and they're going up against... It's David versus Goliath,
3
really.
million, right?
Yeah, and
So,
California's like
The
30,
city of Cleveland is bigger than the entire territory of Puerto Rico.
which is crazy considering how good they are at baseball, which is why that means so much to them, especially when you play
Yeah.
the U.S., which is a giant, and they did so well against all the other nations.
Yeah, I will say, the rosters are not complete with the best of talent, and we
In
talked.
Puerto Rico, it was. Every good Puerto Rican player played.
Well, I'm talking more
Debatable.
about U.S.
Yeah,
The
U.S. was the only team that
US
didn't send
team
their
that-
best.
That's,
Didn't
Yeah,
start
I
all
can see that.
didn't start all of
it's-
our best.
Yeah, but there's like some players that would have helped more than other
And we
players.
still won.
Yeah,
We
so
said
that's
the
what I'm
B
saying.
team and we won.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Oh, how do
shout out to the USA pitching staff was lights out.
My
If
boy
you look-
Tanner Roark.
Shut up. It is correct. Ugh. They were lights out though. I mean, Strosho
He won
was.
tournament MVP.
He was on fire. I mean, there was. What was the whole thing with his mom that they were talking about?
There was something like, I think his mom... So he could have played for Team Puerto Rico or USA. He had the choice. I don't know how that works, and it's really confusing. Like, how someone like Manny Machado, who's born in America, can play for Team Dominican Republic, and have somebody by the name of Seth Lugo, who's like from Texas, can pitch for Puerto Rico.
What about everybody on the Netherlands team?
Yeah, there's like...
Nobody from the Netherlands team was from the Netherlands.
There's like a weird way that... I don't
It's
know...
your grandparents. If your grandparents are from there, you can play there.
Yeah,
There's
so...
also parents too.
Yeah,
Well, parents-
grandparents
So there's a lot of
like
lineage.
at the highest.
But anyway, I think Stroman had the choice of Puerto Rico and U.S., and I believe his mom was the final one. She said she wanted him to pitch for Team USA, and that's what he did, and he got some flack for it. And he was saying, like, that he got mad at people for saying, it was his mom's decision. He wanted to, I don't really know, but it was along those lines.
Yeah, but it was a very impressive. It was a very impressive overall performance by Team USA. I think that the majority of there was a ton of viewers for MLB TV, which it broke their record for most viewed games on MLB TV. The semifinal and the final did. In the midst of March Madness going on too, that's impressive.
I think they also
Yeah.
broke records for people attending, like tickets sold.
Yeah.
Which is funny because not really many people were at a lot of the games. In those earlier rounds.
Well, the first USA Dominican Republic game,
Yeah, but then
It
when you
sold
guys
out
played
Miami.
Canada, it was empty.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Even the championship game in Dodger Stadium
They had
wasn't
like
a sellout.
33,000 in a stadium that seats
55, yeah.
Yikes. But very exciting to watch. I mean, the semifinal game against Japan was pretty good. I thought Japan was going to do a little bit better than they did. I think.
Well, I think the
rain-
conditions. 'cause
Yeah, I
they
think
they play in domes.
They play in domes, so the rain really helped the United States of America. So
Yeah,
Two unearned runs.
yeah.
2 unearned runs in a 2-1 game.
I just want to say the game against what was the game that Hosmer had the go-ahead 2-run homer? That was against the Dominican, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, I think that was Venezuela.
No, the second time the United States played the Dominican Republic, it was 2-2.
Might have been.
It was 2-2 in the bottom of the 8th, and Haas went, yeah. So my boy Eric stepping up. I saw a really cool picture where it was like Stroman and Roark, Hosmer and Adam Jones, and they were all like edited to have like the flag was behind them, and Giancarlo was wearing his arm sleeve. It was just really cool to see all the baseball accounts that you follow on Twitter and Instagram kind of have something different to talk about than just spring training. I really enjoyed the tournament as a whole. I don't know anything else you guys really want to touch on. No.
God bless the USA.
Yeah.
It was an awesome tournament, though.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah. I mean, you have the upsets that happen as well. I mean, we got to watch Israel
The mensch on
and
the bench.
Italy,
Yeah.
do well in the beginning rounds. The Cinderella stories early in the tournament, and then finished with a fantastic result in the United States, bringing home the gold.
I was kind of opposite of Powers a couple weeks ago when he was saying that the World Baseball Classic isn't a good thing injury-wise, and I said I disagreed. But now seeing that my boy Didi Gregorius hurt his shoulder and is out for 6 weeks, I agree. It's very risky to go do
What about
that.
Salvador Perez? Did
Yeah.
he get hurt also?
Yeah, he sprained his knee pretty badly.
Yeah, but I think he's good to go.
Yeah.
He's not going to miss significant time.
It was just a mere contusion.
That's good. Danny Duffy had a breakout. I would say that's a breakout performance for in terms because he pitched really well, and now he is the Royals starter for the opening day. Good for Danny Duffy.
Yeah, I think it's a trade-off because then you have performances like Duffy where he earns, a bigger role on his Major League Baseball team with his showing in the World Baseball Classic. At the same time, you run the risk of injury.
Yeah.
Didi Gregorius and Salvador Perez being two examples. But, then you can argue that about spring training games as well. I mean, you get a couple guys, I believe, sorry to bring it up, but, what's the Mets pitcher? Already got a sore elbow.
Which one?
Wheeler?
No.
Was it Matz?
That
Matz
was
and
earlier in the year. Thanks.
So Matz, was it?
Yeah, Steven Matz.
You know what we should have? We should have a. You know how they have those randomizers where you can just like
We can randomize the Mets rotation.
Yeah, and just be like, who's hurt today? Maybe we should make that a segment.
The-
Who on the Mets
The
staff is hurt today?
running hurt list.
It didn't take long, surprisingly. David Wright.
But the injury argument is a good one for why players don't play in the World Baseball Classic, but they do get hurt in spring training. That is possible.
Also, some players did not look ready in the World Baseball Classic. Andrew Miller. Nolan Arenado did not have a good tournament whatsoever.
He was awful.
In like
he
the
finished,
final,
he finished in like 162.
Yeah, and he had so many strikeouts. He just kept. He couldn't. He was not.
And he
locked in.
wasn't barreling the ball up either.
He was complete. His timing was way off.
You could tell he was frustrated. I also thought last thing we're gonna touch on is Jim Leland. He got the manager role for Team USA, and he was like, I picture Jim Leland being the guy who when he's older drinks iced tea on his porch and just watches the day go by. Like that's Jim Leland to me.
Probably hard iced tea, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can.
Heyo.
I can get on board with that.
But
he was so proud of the United States, and he was like crying in the interview that he had with was it JP Morosi? That's his name, right?
Yeah,
JP. Anyway, it was really cool to see him step up, and I don't agree with some of the managerial
decisions.
Some of the decisions he made.
Hosmer fifth.
No, I agree with that. But
that was a gutsy call, and it paid off.
Dude, Hosmer was just not as good as the other players on the team.
Like starting Jonathan
Murphy
Lucroy behind the
and
dish.
Goldschmidt are both better than Harper.
Harper?
Hosmer.
The Wizard Haas.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think Goldschmidt would have hit that 2-run home run.
I don't think he would have either.
He hit a 4-run home run.
That's called a grand slam, folks.
Thank you.
De nada.
Anyway, Leland went out and he rode off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Carrying the American flag behind him.
And that huge eagle.
It was pretty much the Indiana Jones departure.
Yeah.
Riding off on a horse
into the
sunset.
That's another thing. We should probably bring in more movies to.
I got that. I can do this.
I can make a superhero reference here.
Go ahead.
But we need input from everyone. So for the whole tournament, who was your Captain America? Who was the best
Adam
player on
Jones.
America?
Eric Hosmer by far.
Adam Jones.
I think you could argue Adam Jones.
Adam Jones, are you serious?
I think because
Oh,
of the
okay.
catch.
Yeah.
catch.
And he also had 2 walk-off. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I won't say Hosmer. I think of Hosmer being like the best. Like he looks like the American.
I think he's like it's like little brother.
If he looks like America, then
But
America's not
could
a
we-
good place.
No
Could
one
we
ever
also
beats
but could we also give it to Strosho for his performance in
I
the
like
final?
Strosho.
No,
He
I say
told-
we give
he
it
said
to Adam
America
Jones
hop
because
on.
top of the 2 clutch hits and the catch, the savagery that he brought.
Yeah.
Like the
exactly.
way he
Brought
was
an
just
edge.
shaming other countries and was like, Manny Machado's on the Dominican Republic. We're not friends right now.
Yeah.
Like
We
that-
will be later, but
Yeah.
right now I'm going to rob you of a 3-run home
Yeah.
run.
I agree.
That was.
I can.
Is it
I-
gonna be
let's-
solo homer, just saying.
It would have been a solo home.
Yeah, who cares?
All right, whatever.
That was still.
And then Christian Yelich had an
Oh,
opportunity
Yelich?
to hold my beer, but then he decided to run into the wall instead of jump.
Yelich had a
Yeah,
good
he was
tournament
good.
too.
He did.
He
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kept getting hits.
Yelich and Stanton were talking with the media and like just kept going on and on. They still are. I saw a USA Today sports article today about how they're still talking to the media about what a great time that the World Baseball Classic was. I think that we'll wrap this up. I'll ask this question: is there going to be a change in participation in the World Baseball Classic now?
Yes,
I
Mike
think so.
Trout already said he's doing the next one. So you can get Trout, the premier player in the world, to play. Other people will follow.
Also,
Absolutely.
I think there will be more because I think a lot of players saw how much fun it was.
Yeah.
They had a great time, and everyone's coming back saying how great it was. But also another thing that's going to be interesting is baseball got put back into the Olympics.
Oh
For what year is that? 2020.
I think
the
so.
other, but the other issue about that is that's going to be during the summer, and
Yeah.
I can't see baseball
that's
taking a
AAA,
break.
guys.
So that's what I wonder for the Olympics. That's during the summer, so you wonder,
No,
are we
what-
gonna get
what they-
top tier D1 players?
No, what they used to do is when baseball was in the Olympics and it was during the summer,
was
they would
college.
send the junior team.
Yeah.
They'd send the U21 team over.
That's probably
I
what
think
they'll do.
I would like to see
And they
that.
still got the bronze, so.
Like, so this is like, I think this is the benefit to adding. Now we're going a little bit off topic here, so I'll try to make it quick. The benefit to having baseball in the Olympics for the United States again is that you give your top tier young players, either whether it be your U21 team or just the top Division 1 players in the country, you give them the opportunity to play against some high level competition in a high pressure situation, which will help draft stock, which will help professional teams sign them.
The whole reason we had the WBC in the first place is because the best players couldn't play in the Olympics because of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It's the only reason WBC is there.
Yeah.
So, and then now I think after seeing, what I like in the World Baseball Classic too at this point, in terms of just sheer enjoyment, the Little League World Series.
I hate it.
I love
But nobody looks like they're having more fun playing baseball than those kids at the Little League World Series.
I think some of the players this year in the WBC.
So that's like you get the.
Except for the Japanese team. Like I'm not the Japanese team. They don't smile. They're in it to win it, and they're just like, you know what, we're doing this.
Well, that team had that manager and that team had been assembled for 4 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
So for them losing to the U.S. in the semifinals was probably actually pretty bad. Considering the U.S. team was put
And they
together
played
in a couple
better.
months.
Than the U.S. They should have won that game.
A couple of errors.
Okay, wrapping things up. Unsung hero of the tournament, Jack.
You're gonna have to come back to me. Let me think.
Okay, Whit.
Unsung hero. Wow.
Pat Neshek.
Oh, I have one. Luke Gregerson. He was the closer for the U.S.
Mhm.
He locked it down. After
You
Miller
said
choked.
I said
Neshek?
Neshek.
Okay, what about you?
Biggest
Jeez.
fan in tournament.
Unsung hero. Oh, geez. I don't know. I think really just because he hit the home run against the Dominican Republic, Hosmer.
I like it. I'm going with Andrew McCutcheon.
He had a decent.
That's a
He
good.
came
It's a
off
good
the bench.
shout.
He didn't
In
have
the-
many hits, but
No,
his hits were all big.
Yeah, they were all. So in the quarterfinal and the semifinal, he had 2 hits that were like, okay, USA is here. That's going to do it for our World Baseball Classic podcast. We're going to throw the end of God Bless America onto the. That's going to be our closer, and then we're going to be recording a spring training podcast. That won't be very long. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the Outcast Pod. Like our Facebook page, the Outcast Podcast. And check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud.
See ya.